You're listening to the HoneyDew with Ryan Sickler.
Welcome back to the HoneyDew, y'all. It's Wednesday, and we're doing it over here at your mom's house. I am your host, Ryan Sickler. You can find me on the internet at ryansickler.com and on all social media at Ryan Sickler. My new album, Get a Hold of Yourself, is available now. I tell you about it every week. Free way to help me, make a Spotify channel, make a Pandora channel. That actually really helps. It's over on iTunes. You can give it a review on iTunes. And make sure you're streaming it out there on Sirius. It's out there rolling around right now. I want to say thank you to all the feasters that came out to the Northern California shows. It's so great to see you out there. Appreciate you throwing the love the HoneyDew's way. And I just want to say thank all of you, too. I'm blown away. You know, I'm trying something different here for me, and you've really been receptive. And last week with Carlotta was such a powerful episode, and she can't thank you all enough, and I can't thank you all enough. I really appreciate the love and the positive feedback. You're tremendous people. Please subscribe to the podcast. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. Tell anyone who will listen. We're almost set up at your mom's house, and the feed is now all HoneyDew. There's no other show on the feed except for Old Crab Feast episodes, which, just so you know, we are going to be moving to their own feed as well. So you'll be able to download the Crab Feast and have all those episodes right there for you whenever you want. The website for the show, thehoneydewpodcast.com, where you can get all the info I'm about to tell you. You can email me, and the email is honeydewpodcast@gmail.com. Follow the show on social media. On Facebook, The HoneyDew Podcast is the official page. There's also a closed group fan page. Got quite a few fans going already, which is very flattering and impressive. On Twitter, at HoneyDew Pod. And, you know, we're here every week trying to laugh in the face of adversity and finding the light in the darkness. And this episode is a little bit of a break from what we've been hearing the past few episodes. You know, I want to look at all situations, and my guest this week comes on and shares so many funny stories about just those honeydew moments in life. And this one's a real fun one. And I can say that because I recorded this intro after the episode. It's a really fun episode. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Danish and O'Neill, Jeff Danis.
What's up, dude? Thanks for having me.
Well, first of all, thank you for being here. And thank you for being very accommodating. We were going to record last week, and I got so sick.
Oh, I know how it is, dude.
Preschool poison.
Yeah, it's.
I had to reschedule you, and you were super cool about it. So thank you.
My baby's 9 months, and I'm scared for those days. I know I'm going to be sick for probably the next 18 years, on and off.
It's coming, bro.
I got a weak immune system too, where like something will hit my girlfriend, and she'll get it. I'll get the same thing, and she'll be like, "Oh, you'll be sick 2 days." You know, like give me to the minute. I'm always sick like a week longer, and she's like. And she's like, "What the fuck?" You know, and then throws out like, you know, starts throwing like, "Oh, well, I delivered a baby. Men are you're such women."
We are though.
We are, but it's all, I'm also getting hit harder. I'm like, "Hey, you're not getting hit with the same abuse I'm getting."
She could take that breast milk too and put it in there.
Yeah,
that breast milk's mad,
dude. It heals. The doctors were telling us like,
put it around their eyes and shit.
You can put it
everywhere.
You're like, ridiculous. Like Magic Johnson's drinking it straight from the source.
Well,
have you ever tried it, by the way?
Yeah, I tried it.
Horrible.
It's horrible, but it's sweeter than I thought it was.
I once I have oatmeal sometimes, and we had no milk, and my girlfriend had oatmeal, and I didn't realize it, but she had put breast milk in the oatmeal just because we were out of milk.
Right.
And I guess it's like, you know, it's from me. I'll take it back. So I took it not knowing it. Like, she walked away for a second. Oh, it's horrible.
I see. Now, when I say I tried it, I squirted it in my mouth.
No, I had like a spoon. You know, like,
I didn't have cereal.
Yeah, it was bad news.
Sipping it out of the bowl.
Yeah, it was. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "This oatmeal tastes horrible." And that's what she told me. I was like, "You got to put up a sign or something. You got to tell somebody.
You got to definitely give somebody a heads up if there's titty milk in your oatmeal."
Yeah, wasn't that? It would sound like that. Sounds like when you say that, you're like, sounds like something like a drug dealer would do. Like, give me some titty milk oatmeal.
Give me some of that titty milk oatmeal.
Yeah, but it didn't taste good, man.
Well, thank you for being here. you came prepared with some. I love this honeydew stories you have.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get into this list because we've done everything on here from family stories, life stories. You've got some specific honeydew stories that I'm looking forward to getting into. But before we do, please plug, promote anything you'd like.
Danish and O'Neill on Twitter, Danish and O'Neill podcast. Check it out on iTunes. I got a new Patreon-only podcast called Beach Cops. Check that out.
All right. What's that about?
It's just, I was on an old podcast called Boner City, and 3 out of the 4 of us, people always love when we get together. It's me, Ryan O'Neill, Andrew DeWitt, and it's fucking crazy. It's just crazy. Like 3 of us get together. We have another guy on there named Zach, and it's just insanity. I can't even tell you really what it's about. It's just fucking, it's just nuts. It's so crazy that we record it in a room and we turn the lights out. So like
dark, you're in the dark.
In the dark, just fucking
beach cops.
Beach cops. There's nothing to do with the beach, nothing to do with cops, but it's just insanity. If you like insanity, I would recommend checking it out. And yeah, that's about it.
Did you give your website or anything?
No website. We have a website. We don't really use it, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah, we're good.
So, hell, for a change, where would you like to start? You came fully prepared.
You said you want to start like kind of with my family background?
Yeah, well, that was interesting to me because you said you come from a very normal New England family background. One brother?
I have an older brother, a younger sister.
Okay.
My parents, high school sweethearts.
Still married?
Still married. Been married, I think, 40-plus years now.
And you have a good relationship?
Yeah, I'm tight with my family. Yeah, like nothing. Like I was saying to you before, like, you know, most comics have some sort of crazy either family background or just some sort of incident that like you're like, oh, this is why. If I had to pinpoint it, I told you guys on Craft Feast I was a fat kid, and that probably led to like I was taunted and I had friends.
When you say fat, like what age are we talking about? Elementary, middle, high school too? Or?
Yeah, like I got...
Because you're not fat at all now.
No, I looked... So, in high school, I was carrying some extra bill. I had a basketball coach who would just berate me for being fat on a day-to-day basis.
And what would you... Like, do you remember weight?
I was like... At my biggest, I was like 230.
And at what age?
I'm 6'3".
Yeah, you're tall.
But I've been 6'3" since probably about 8th grade. Maybe 9th grade. Yeah, I was...
Still, I feel like is that not proportionate, 6'3", 230?
It's probably a little on the bigger side. It's not crazy, but I had a little bit of titties, which is that, you know, growing up, you're playing...
I got a lot of those now.
You're playing shirts and skins basketball.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Like, who wants to see titties more than a 12-year-old boy?
That is it.
And if they're on a guy, it doesn't matter. People brushing up against you, grabbing them. Yeah, so then I lost the weight between my junior and senior year.
Because you were a swimmer, right?
I stopped swimming at 12, but I was a fat swimmer. I was
really?
I was like fat athletic is what I call it. Like I always played sports.
Oh, God damn. That's like those big O linemen and stuff. You're like, look at that fat ass. That fat ass runs a 4.5 40.
No, that was...
can bench press 500 pounds.
That was me. Like I was swimming. Like if you did like how many calories, I must have been eating 5,000 calories to not be losing weight.
And you were good.
I was a good swimmer. Yeah, I was really good.
And probably putting these other kids in the fucking...
No, I swam against kids who had sick, you know, like...
Right, like nobody.
Six-pack abs. Yeah, like just
they
they weren't like working out. They were just child jacked.
Eating a sandwich while you're out there swimming.
I just go out there and I whip them. And I think they were probably like, what happened?
What just happened? That fat kid beat me, goddamn.
And the worst was you'd have to do the pictures, and your pictures are in a Speedo. And so as a fat kid, there's just nowhere to hide. And it's like, I remember I have somewhere I'm like, kind of, you like, can I hunch over and hide it? But that just accentuates titties. And you just, I haven't looked at those pictures in years because you can't take a good picture.
That's like a fat Coke addict, a fat swimmer. Like
no,
that.
I was very rare.
When you say swimmer, you were a swimmer, like
summer,
not
and
just
winter.
Fucking outdoor pools in the
summer.
No,
I'm talking bathing cap. I'm talking Speedo. I had no body hair, so I don't have to shave it. But
how in the fuck?
I don't know. Must have been a bad diet. We had a lot of McDonald's. I could have sued.
We had fast food.
In hindsight, I could have sued McDonald's. Because you hear about that.
So do you develop a sense of humor to deflect it all?
I wasn't a fighter. And I think the two options are, like, especially at a young age, when you have I'm
a swimmer, man. I ain't a fighter.
When you got something as easy as any argument could be with your fat, and you either got to be able to back it up with fists, or you got to have some shit to come back with. And I just developed a wit, and so I think that was kind of my training to be a comic. But yeah, in terms of backgrounds, I talk to other people. I'm like, oh, I have a very normal background.
I mean, I don't, but people sit across from me and say some shit, and I'm like, what the fuck?
No, there is some.
You talking
there are
about?
comics where you're like, how are you still alive?
Right? Yeah.
You're like, this shit sounds crazy.
No doubt. So, would you say you were like practical jokes, or what would you get into? Like, because you definitely get into you get into trouble and mischief.
I was
for sure.
I was a good student, so I would toe the line of being like the class clown, but not to the point where it would get me in serious trouble. Like I was I always had a kind of a mouth on me, would say shit, but I would know where the line was, and I wouldn't push it too far because I'm Jewish. My parents always valued education, and that was like the one area that I couldn't really fuck up too bad in. And so I would describe myself probably as an athlete, mainly as a kid and growing up. All my friends played sports, kind of how I made friends. A buddy of mine right now is a pro golfer.
Oh yeah,
from growing up, yeah, not known, but he's actually not on tour right now, but been on tour the last couple of years. Yes, I would say that. I would say I'd fuck around for sure, but also I decided me as a kid I could be kind of quiet. Like if I didn't know you, like I wouldn't give you much,
but you would take it in.
Yeah, always looking, always watching.
That was me, yeah.
I think a lot of comics are like that. Even now I'm like that.
Yeah.
Just I'll fucking...
he doesn't say much. No, I'm just observing
and kind of stocking some ammo. It's like, and I'll remember, I've had people...
I'm judging a little too.
People at the Comedy Store often would say, me and my partner O'Neill, they'd be like, you guys don't forget anything. One, we don't smoke any weed. We don't do drugs. Like,
amazing.
Yeah, so our memories are better than most. But also, we are just, you're looking around, you're taking it in. And up there, when we came up there, it was a dog-eat-dog world. And it's like, you had to, like, people were coming at you. Like, if you broke up with your girlfriend and guys there knew, they're bringing it up
all the time.
First minute they see you, who's she fucking, what's she doing. You know, she's probably...
But you're armed for that.
You're armed, and you need ammo on everyone else. That's why you got to look around. You got to know what people are doing. It's changed there a lot. I think it's more support. It's probably better.
Oh, it's crazy supportive now.
For the comics.
Yeah, for your mental health.
Probably a lot healthier.
What do you want to start with?
I want to start, since you're from Maryland.
I'm
going to head back to your home state. What's it called? Is it the crab state?
No, it's the old. Actually, it was the old line state.
The old line state.
Maryland was.
What's that mean?
I don't know if it's because of the Mason-Dixon, because we're right there.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of the start of the South in a way.
Yeah, I was just talking about this with Larson, actually, because he was just in Baltimore, and Southerners say it's the southernmost northern city, and Northerners say it's the northernmost southern city. No one wants to... Baltimore, Maryland's a fucking honeydew state. Nobody wants to
collect
shit.
it. Yeah. It's just sitting there with Delaware all alone.
That's it. Delaware's just over there off to the side.
I don't know, like, coming out of high school, I had no clue what I wanted to do. So I know, like, college selection for me was very random. I applied to James Madison, which is in, like, rural Virginia.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted some warmer weather. I didn't want to stay in Massachusetts. And a buddy of mine from high school and I just got the idea, like, let's go to school together. So I applied to Richmond in Virginia. I went on a college tour.
So warmer was just Virginia was as far south as you were going.
In hindsight,
yeah,
I should have
not that fucking warm down there.
I learned that the hard way, which I'll get into. Like, I thought I'm going to spring break, and
it's gonna be tropical down in Virginia.
I mean, you guys, Maryland gets way less snow than where I'm from.
Yeah,
but still gets
cold.
Yeah, and cold. And by the way, the year I went there, they had a record snowfall.
What year was it? 96?
98, 99.
Yeah, because I left in 96, and it was the record then, and then 2 years after that, they shut the streets down. It was nuts.
I was like, what? I was like, I've been duped. So I ended up I went to James Madison. We drive like hours and hours and hours to get to this rural campus. I take one step out of the car. I'm with my dad and my mom, and it's like, the classic Griswold style. You're just in the car forever. I get out, and the campus just smells like cows, like cattle, like horse manure. And I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. And my dad looked at me. He was so pissed.
I'll bet.
He's like, I just drove like 10 hours and you just step out of the car and say, I said, I can't picture myself here. He still brings that up. He's like, you can't picture yourself here? Really? You piece of shit. So I ended up in Maryland.
Wait, so then you just started driving back north and stopped at Maryland?
I think so, yeah. Like it was a whole...
Or Richmond, then Maryland?
I think Richmond, then Maryland.
And what was the matter with Richmond?
Richmond...
too hot down in Richmond for you?
Too southern for me.
Yeah.
Like, because we get to campus and they're like, well, we got dorms, they're segregated. We don't got women and men together.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, that sucks.
I didn't think you were going to... I thought they were going to say black people and white
they're
people.
like, well, also
that.
that. But yeah, so for me, that would just felt like too old school. I didn't really love that. In hindsight, I probably would have done a lot. Like when I tell you these stories, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, you should have gone to James Madison. Would have been better off riding horses." So I ended up in Maryland. Me and my buddy, we both get there and started off really bad because Maryland, a lot of those big state schools take a gamble. They take a certain amount of kids, and they're hoping a certain amount of kids don't come. And for whatever reason, that year everyone went. And so like,
oh, okay.
So like
So they overbooked like a flight.
Yeah. So like 2 weeks before, they're like, oh, by the way, you guys have no housing. And we're like, oh, okay.
You were supposed to live on campus?
Yeah, like in a dorm.
How the hell do they do that?
Just because it's overbooked. And like, you got no.
And you just get a notice?
Yeah, and they're like, you're gonna live in this Howard Johnson that we're converting into a dorm.
Nuh-uh, you lived at a.
So we're like, what the like. You know, you're going away from home. I lived
in college, yeah.
Yeah, and I grew up in like I grew up in a bubble. I grew up in a pretty like middle class area, pretty affluent area.
Well, welcome to our fucking world, brother.
It's one that I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck's that? You know, you're going away from home for the first time. You're like, what's happening? So then the day we're going, they're like, good news. We got a room for you in this dorm. You're in a triple. You have a roommate, and we're like, that kind of stuff, whatever, you know, we'll take it.
Because it was just supposed to be the two of you?
Two of us, yeah. You know, just 'cause you don't want some random. Like,
right, yeah.
So we got put in there, but so we get there, come to find out that the floor we get put on, it's called Gemstone, and it's the smartest kids in the whole school. So it's like legitimate, the movie Revenge of the Nerds, and
right.
Me and my buddy. Like we're not, you know, I'm not dumb, but I'm not. These are all the engineering guys who probably run the world.
These are the guy. I was going to say these are the guys we should have made friends with. That are doing apps and all this bullshit.
I'm
right
sure
now.
Some of these guys are very wealthy. Right? So we had zero friends on our floor. Like then that's like freshman year. That's like who your main crew is. So it's just me and my buddy. We have nobody. So we meet our third roommate, this dude named Kofi, this black dude. He comes in. He's wearing remember the Patrick Ewing?
I had him. The Adidas, the blue, and the Nick colors.
So this guy's wearing like these moon boot Patrick Ewing sneakers. He comes in, he's quiet, like, but we're like, hey man, what's up? Introduce ourselves. I had the single bed, and then my buddy had the lower bunk, and then we give this because he was the last. Like, hey, you got the top bunk, and things seem all right. Everyone's going to class, whatever. So like, I want to say less than 2 weeks in, because at schools, they usually give you a 2-week freeze that you can't change rooms, especially freshman year, you know, because it turns into a lot of like, well, you know, and then they're like, give it a chance. You guys, you know, people become friends, whatever. So like a week in, we get a notice. You guys got to go see the head of residential life in the building. We were in Endicott, which they name after all the buildings after Maryland cities. And so we're like, what's this about, man? So me and my friend go down to residential life, and the other guy's not there. And we sit down. Kofi's
a no-show?
Kofi's no-show. No-show Co. So we sit down across from this residential life guy, and he's like, yeah, this is a sensitive topic. I understand you guys are having sex, which is fine. That's fine. But it's just a little too loud for your other roommates' liking. And we were like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, the two of you guys are having loud sexual intercourse.
Oh, wait, so this is in my mind. First, I think he thinks you're bringing women home, but now I'm thinking he thinks you guys are fucking each other too loud.
That's what he's saying. And so the head of residential life, you know, they have to be, even then, which was a different time, but they had to be very like you know, like a lot of gay people actually do those jobs. And so he's like, look, there's nothing wrong with this. I have nothing against it. But if you can just be considerate of your roommate, you know, maybe wait till he leaves, or if you can just keep it down.
This guy thinks.
It's so we're just going, hey man, like, this is as weird for us as it is for you because this isn't true. And he's like, guys, he wouldn't
I'm not
acknowledge.
here to shame you.
Yeah, he wouldn't acknowledge that it wasn't true. He just kept saying, guys, it's none of my business. It's okay. I just need to relay the message that you need to keep it down. And I'm like, dude, this isn't true, man. Like, we're both saying, like, we're laughing because we're like, this is crazy. And so what happened was the guy would never admit it. That meeting just ended. Is that this dude wanted out of the room and they had a 2-week freeze. And so he's like, how can I get out? I'm going to say they're fucking and they're keeping me up at night. Who would fuck on a bunk bed? First week of school.
Some brand new dude.
Guy you've never seen wearing his Patrick Ewing boots. So this fucking idiot, like the next day, is moving his shit out of the room.
I was going to say, you got to see the guy again, right?
Oh, yeah. He's moving his shit out. He brings a friend in because he thinks we're going to beat his ass.
Right, yeah.
Because it's like, dude, you know what you did. We don't talk to him. So we're like, fuck, like, really? This is your play? You couldn't have waited 2 weeks?
You didn't say a word to him?
Not a word.
Oh, man, how do you not say something to him?
It's just, it's just one of those things. Like, what do you say? Like, like, it's like.
I had plenty to say for that.
So he's moving his shit out. He's got like this bouncer who's not a big, like, not that we were going to beat his ass, but it's like, dude, your bouncer's not doing much for us. So then he moves out. So we were like, yeah, this is great. We got a triple now just as a double. They didn't fill it for the rest of the semester, which is good. I would see that guy on campus from time to time. He would always say hello to me. I wouldn't say.
He would say,
like,
hi.
Are you out of your mind? Like, what do you want to be friends now? Like, are you crazy?
That's crazy to go out and do that.
Yeah, like, I'm going to do you dirty.
And everybody in there probably is like, yes, there they are right there.
Oh, and it's like, like, no, I'm not saying hello to you.
That is hilarious.
Yeah,
Could you imagine?
See him throughout the year.
You guys really fucked like that?
No, I remember because this is the time of VCRs. And when he left the room once, we checked his VCR and he had like anime porn in there. He had a ton of tissues, Vaseline. It's like, hey, if there's any sexual deviancy going on here, it's the guy pointing
up on the top bunk.
Kofi's pointing the fingers.
Kofi.
Check him out. So that's the start of my year. That's not a great freshman start.
That's like week 1?
That's week 1.
Week 1. You've been accused of fucking each other too loud in your door.
That's welcome to college.
Hey, man.
Not fucking chicks, by the way.
Yeah, each other.
And I got nothing. If you're gay, that's whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool. But it's just like when you're not, and it's just a bizarre way to start. You're 18. You're like, what is happening? This is bad news. So then, like a week later, we go to a party. There was these off-campus apartments that a ton of people lived in. And we go there, and it's just like this crazy street party. I don't know. The cops must not care. And out of nowhere, all I remember is this black dude in a Jerry Rice jersey. He's like 6'6", just punches this chick in the face.
A woman?
A woman, dude. And it just starts like a full-on riot. People throwing bottles. Cops are coming in with shields. I'm like ducking.
Shields.
Yeah.
This is week 2.
The week 2. It's like, man,
let's just go back to the dorm and fuck.
Yeah, it's like I'm ready to start fucking you.
Shit.
Let's go back, dude. I don't know where we're at.
2.
Yeah, this is week 2. I'm like, I
don't see myself here. Is all I'm thinking right now.
I'm not in Kansas anymore. I mean, people started chanting Jerry. I think it was Jerry Springer and the Jerry Rice combo. But that guy just punched this guy floored this chick.
Shit.
Somehow she still took it. This guy was a big fucking guy. And people were, I think he got either hit with a bottle that was thrown or hit with a bottle swung. And this guy was on his feet. This guy was a big dude.
It didn't do shit to him.
Yeah, I remember cops coming and everyone was just like, I'm out. Like, 'cause if you're underage, you're like, all right.
That's a rough area. A buddy of mine went there, and do you remember Cluck You Chicken?
Oh, yeah.
There was someone that got killed there, shot or stabbed to death outside of that place. Yeah, Maryland's not
May have been Kofi.
It's still Maryland. It might have been Kofi.
Cluck You reminds me. So orientation, even before all this, you go there for the week. They kind of give you the stupid lanyard you wear that you mark every freshman as wearing their keychain around their neck. So we go there, and I'm in they try to make the big school small. They put you in there with like 30 kids, and maybe you'd be friends with one of them. And this guy was in my thing. This guy's name was Roderick. He was from Florida. He talked like Mace, the rapper, slow as shit, that deep Southern Florida drawl. And so you had to take a math placement test at Maryland to get put in what math you're going to take. And it was long. Probably took like 30 minutes to an hour. This guy's done in like 3 minutes. Pencil down. And the guy running, it's like, you done, Roderick? He's like, yeah, I'm done. And the guy's like, okay. I don't even know if he must be like, I'm a football player. Fuck, I don't care. And then in like another thing we had, they're like, all right, let's go around the room and let's, say our names, say something about ourselves. And how about you start? And he picks Roderick. And he's like, I ain't got nothing to say.
He said that?
Yeah. And he's like, and the guy's like, okay. Like trying to, he's positive, big guy.
Okay, Janine.
He's like, that sounds great. I see you have a nice necklace there. There's a medallion on there. How about you explain that? He's like, it's number 34. That's what I wear for football.
Oh, he played for Maryland?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's why the math test. He didn't give a shit. I don't care.
Oh, I see. He's like, yeah, I'm done with it.
So fast forward, I'm taking criminology during the school year, and the front two rows, the football coach at that time, I guess, made all the football players sit in the first two rows, just as like, must tell the teacher like they're going to come, they're going to sit in the front. I'd say about 60% of them were wearing headphones. The whole class.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Just like big like headphones we're wearing right now. Like
listen to our game plan for this week.
Just don't give a shit. Like we're here, we have to be here. I'll sit here.
Yeah,
but I ain't doing nothing. So I'm like, oh, Roderick's in my class, first day of class. I'm like, oh, it's Roderick from freshman orientation. So he's walking up the thing. I'm an idiot. I don't know anyone. I'm just a dumb fucking idiot. I walk up to him like, Roderick, and he's like, he looks at me, and he's with like 30 black football players. And I'm like, Roderick. Do you remember me? I'm Jeff.
From orientation.
I'm Jeff from your orientation. He looks at me, doesn't say a word, and this other guy just goes, Roderick's got friends. And everyone dies laughing, and they just walk away in my face. I was just like,
you are HoneyDew.
I was like, oh, man. And it was just like the ultimate.
30 of them.
The ultimate rejection of like
God,
every football player. You're like, wow, that is not.
Fuck you, you'll be 4-6.
Yeah, like you guys play in a shitty conference. None of you are going to the NFL.
Exactly.
I remember after one of those criminology classes, I was walking behind like this same pack of dudes, and there was this girl in my class who had I thought like the best ass. I was like, man, this girl's ass is crazy. Her body's crazy. And I hear these guys going, man, look at that ass. I couldn't even fit in there, man. Like, it was just hearing the difference of like what people like. I'm like, dude, for me, that's an A+. For these guys, it's a pass. It was a hard pass.
Couldn't fit in there.
It was Roderick and his pal.
Of course.
After that, Roderick and I had no contact. He never even like pulled me aside to be like away from them. Like, hey man, sorry, but I had to kind of say. But I was just. There's no deeper rejection than to hear somebody go, Roderick's got friends.
The whole Division I football team.
Well, people are like high five. Like it's the best line they've ever heard. A Def Comedy Jam reaction. I'm just sitting there, like, just trying to extend a hand to some.
Maybe Kofi will get lunch with me.
Yeah, I was like, shit.
Oh
man.
my God.
Yeah, now that I look back on it, there was bad race relations for me that year.
I'm gonna say
0-2 right there.
I'm gonna say it's not starting off great, man. This is so far.
It's a great year.
We're 2 weeks in. We're orientation. I mean, the drive already to JMU and the no thanks to fucking
to orientation, being accused of being gay,
and also
loudly
being an exhibitionist in the room, fucking while there's someone in there,
loud too,
pounding,
rocking those bunk beds. And you killed somebody on the top bunk. You rocked through.
You could.
Yeah. So this is.
And then you're at a fight where
a riot.
A riot.
Yeah.
Well said. A riot.
By the way, at that
week 2,
at that riot before the riot happened, I guess I learned a lesson then. Is I recognized this guy from like a neighboring town who played basketball against my brother. My brother's 3 years older than me, and this guy played basketball but played football at Maryland. And so I see the guy, and I'm like, hey, man, are you such and such from Methuen? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, my brother is. And I say, and he's just like, oh, okay. Like, that was the reaction.
That's it.
I was like, what is happening here, man?
All right.
Clearly, but yeah, it was just like, that was it. I was like, good meeting you, dude. That guy was like 6'8", like 3 bill. He was a lineman, huge guy. But so I was just like, man, I can't get a break here.
I'm just trying to make friends.
So that first semester, I'm walking out. I don't know what class it was, but I'm walking on campus, and once again, just coincidentally, this black dude comes up to me. He's wearing I remember it.
Oh my God!
I must have had a sign on me that was like ready to be taken.
Yeah.
Like if you're a black dude, this guy is as white as they come, and he's naive, and he's ready. This guy comes up to me. I still remember it. And he's in a suit, and he's like, I forget his first. I think his first line was like, "Man, have you ever considered modeling?" And I was just like, "What?" He's like, "Have you ever considered modeling? You got a great look."
This is a dude just
And so I'm like, I'm weirded
Kofi
out.
send you.
Yeah, who you working with?
You working with Kofi?
You know Roderick?
Oh, you want a Roderick guy?
You definitely knocked. You wouldn't be talking to me.
Oh shit!
So, and I like I said on Crab Feast, I was a fat kid, and I said on here, and so I was, like for me, that was kind of like, I don't know if you could sense it on me, but that was my vulnerability. It was like I wasn't fat anymore, and I was like, oh shit, this is like, even from a man, that's flattering. And I was like, no, man, I don't know what this is about. And he's like, I work for this modeling company, and I think you can really get some work. And he gives me this whole spiel, and it's like, come out to my office, just hear it out.
So is he a student?
I think he's just a dude who just patrols
Walking
campus. Yes,
that's right,
looking for idiots like
right.
me. So I have to take like all these trains to like, I think it was like Falls Church, Virginia.
Yeah, I know Falls Church.
So I end up in Virginia. I go meet with this guy, or I don't even know if it was this guy.
I was going to ask you, was it him?
No, I think it was somebody else. I think he's just like a ground level recruit.
Yeah.
Must have been an early pyramid scheme. You get out on the streets, funnel people in. We'll cut you a check. Above you makes more. So I sit down and they give me this whole spiel. You're going to be doing this. You're going to be doing prints. We see is this, that. And I'm, I have no entertainment background, but obviously.
But what are you in? Like an office building?
Yeah, like just a regular.
Does it feel legit? Look legit enough?
Back then I knew nothing.
Half the auditions I've been on out here, I feel like. This could be bullshit.
You're like, am I in a pool house? Like, what is this? Is that camera? Is there lights on that?
That thing ain't even plugged in.
Yeah, this is some sort of scheme. Yeah, so I'm 18. I have no idea. I had nothing to do with entertainment at the time. And so the meeting ends, and they're like, all right, well, all we need is a $500 check. And, and then we'll get going from there. And I was dumb enough. I'd write the check out.
You brought your checkbook with you?
I don't know if I brought it with me or I sent it in somehow. So either the $500 check gets made. So I talked to my parents, and they're like, what? Why would you pay $500? Like, you got to get that money back. So I call, and I'm like, I got to cancel that check. And they're just like, no, you can't. Like, they had like some crazy. I called like the Better Business Bureau, and it was just like this scheme, and I couldn't get it back.
They just took your $5.
Took me for $5. For me, that was like so humiliating. I had told people about it, like, oh man, I'm gonna be a model.
No.
Like,
I'm gonna be a model.
I'm picturing like speedboats, and like I'm gonna be the next Fabio. And then they're like, oh, what happened with it? And it's like, oh, it didn't turn out. But it's like, I got fucking taken for $500.
Fuck.
So deeply humiliating. He brings me back to childhood of just people, calling me fat, this, that. And you're like,
yeah, it takes you right back to the trauma.
And you're like, shit, this guy took me. That's my year so far, where you're just like,
do you ever see that guy floating on campus again?
It's such a huge camp,
Yeah,
like you barely see the same people at all.
Saw Kofi though.
I would run into him
Rodder.
quite a bit, and Rod. I wonder what happened to Rod. He had some chicken legs on him. He was jacked, but he had the smallest
legs.
Yeah, he wasn't working leg day.
Skipping
hard.
leg day.
Yeah, he was
making friends.
Beach muscles. I don't. Something tells me his football career didn't pan out. So that was the modeling. That was horrific.
Oh man, well, because I've had those dudes that drive around in vans, and I've had them in various states where they come up to you to buy speakers.
I've had that in L.A. all the time. In Hollywood, it happened to me all the time.
You ever do that?
No, I did not.
You didn't sucker for that.
It was an early lesson for me. Is like, hey, you can't trust anybody.
I'll tell you what.
After that,
$500. That's not terrible to learn that lesson.
It was painful, especially.
I mean, the emotional pain.
Yes. No, but in terms of the money, it wasn't crazy.
$500 ain't terrible.
But at the time, I was like,
I was starving college.
I was beside myself.
Oh man,
I couldn't. I was like,
did you tell your parents?
I did. They were like, what are you doing? Like, why would you pay? Like,
I was like, that shit doesn't happen down at JMU. They signed
it's like there's no modeling agents scouting campus.
Walking around the campus.
What if I had gone through with it and I would have been the next top model?
You could have been, though. I'm sitting here wondering where you could have taken it, man.
Like, damn, this guy missed an opportunity. Could have been the white Tyson Beckford.
Man, how many $500 things were they pulling a day?
Oh, and I'm sure. On a huge campus like that, even if you have like 30 people say no, you have 5 that say yes. That's a good day.
They got you. This is all in the first half of semester.
Yeah. And so then my friend just got in a deep, dark marijuana funk. He stopped leaving the room, stopped going to class.
I don't understand anybody that sits in a room and just smokes marijuana. Why wouldn't you want to go out and enjoy the world?
I think he was just depressed.
I was going to say it was more than that.
Yeah, it was just depression. He wasn't happy there. And just, so then.
This is your buddy that you started with?
Yeah.
That used to fuck in front of Kofi?
Yeah, loudly. He was looking through. I could saw he had his fingers looking through his fingers, jerking off. Hey, can you guys switch positions? I'm bored. So we started doing weird shit. You said no friends, and and it's bad when you go with someone because you don't branch out.
Right.
And so me and him were just me and him. And so I remember Halloween, everyone in our dorm was going out there all in costume. So we just filled water balloons and we're just hurling them out of the windows at dudes in costumes. Or we hit this guy right in the head. This dude who we didn't like the guy just by the look of him. We didn't like the cut of his jib, and we drilled him. I think he was just like a vampire.
And popped him with it.
Nailed him right in the head. He's just looking around. Things got so bad that the meal plan there is you have to put a certain amount of money on your card. And whether you use that money or not, there's no rollover. It's just gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up.
So towards the end of the semester, you just have X amount of money. And, some good people, would buy food, give it to homeless, whatever, give it to homeless people, do good things. We bought, they had a bakery for some reason in this place. And we bought, a full cake. And they charge you, by the slice. Probably cost, $80. Bought a full cake. And the high-rise dorms go to, the top floor. And just hurl it off.
To hit people or just let it go? Or if it did, it did?
If it did, it did, but we were hoping not, just as a scare tactic.
Right.
And so we bomb it out. But it's one of those where you let it go and you're like, oh, shit, I let it go too far. Too far. You're like, I didn't want to go too far. I wanted to go, in the middle of these two groups of people. I didn't want to go, and you're like, oh, this could kill somebody at this height. And then, but it missed, thank God. You just see it, the cake just hit from the sky.
It just crushed.
And you just see people look like, what the hell was that? And that was our entertainment. Well, what are we doing, man? This isn't good. So my roommate, my friend, he left. He bailed at the first.
He did?
He was gone.
The first semester?
First semester, he's out.
We're not even through the first semester.
He leaves that first semester. Okay. So now I'm alone. This is the only friend I have.
You got a triple and you're the only one in it?
Triple, I'm the only guy.
Are you serious? They're not feeling it.
So I've met a guy who was, I had a family friend from Pennsylvania who lived where I live. They moved away. His cousin was there. I met him, got along. I was like, hey, man, you want to move in? He didn't like his roommate. He moved in. And we get this third guy, this dude named Ari, not Shafir, he was at Maryland. Same time.
That's nuts.
Never across paths that I know of. Who knows? Maybe he was friends with Kofi.
He might have been.
Oh, yeah, Kofi, a good friend of mine. So then Dude, Ari moves in. He's selling grass. He's moving weight out of the dorm room.
What do you mean? How much?
I don't know, but I would just come back and just he had this dirty friend with dreadlocks, this white dude, and he'd just be sitting on my bed smoking. There's nowhere to go in a dorm room.
And they're smoking it in the dorm?
Smoking it in the room. And they're like, oh, is this cool? And it's I don't
think everybody in the fucking hall's going to care.
Yeah, it's I'm not loving it, do the floor run. But it's whatever, do what you want to do. I start pledging this fraternity, this all-Jewish fraternity, which I grew up in a town. I'm Jewish, but I grew up in a town that was 2% Jewish. So I was always the token Jew among my friends. So I joined this fraternity. The guy who I brought into my room was friends with all these. He was a New Jersey guy. And so a lot of Maryland, a lot of these big state schools are New Jersey and Long Island Jewish people.
Yeah, I had a lot of Long Island, especially girls that would come to. I went to Towson, and they would come.
Okay, yeah, it's nearby. So I'd never been around this sort of this kind of Jew. These guys were they were club promoters at 18 years. They're I'm running this club in New York and something. Who the fuck? This is not anything I've ever been around, and I didn't love it either. But I was whatever. I have no friends. I'll try it out. I'll pledge this fraternity. And it was the most crazy hazing.
What'd they do?
Just I never was touched, but there were people just being it would be mass chaos, just get punched in the face. But some of these dudes were. One of the dudes
line you up and just punch.
No, just it would be chaotic. You don't know what's going. Next thing you know, some guy's oh, I got hit in the back of the head. And you're oh, what? I didn't get touched. Just shit like that. Everything was like that homoerotic, get down to your boxers. Everything. Get down to your boxers. Like, well, why? It's like, just get, like, don't ask, get down to your boxers.
Right.
I'm like, okay. So then I remember there was this one night where I was like, where it kind of jumped the shark for me. So there were these dudes who lived off campus. I think they were like seniors. And it's like, because most of the people, like the hazing's mainly soft, they just go through it. They're sophomores. They live in this house now. They're like, we're going to haze you. So these guys are like seniors. One of the dudes, remember the little guy that Kid Rock used to roll around with?
I do. Joe C.
One of the guys wasn't much
Rest in peace.
Wasn't much taller than Joe C.
Okay.
And this guy, so they come to the house.
I'll probably say his name wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
I think it is Joe C. So they come to the house. One of the guys is wearing a Sting wrestling mask, like the Crow. Yeah. Like, you're like, what are you like? What, like this is what we're doing. Like, how the guy's like 21. Like this is what you're fucking. So it's him, that guy, because I saw him without the mask. He was like this,
Sting
like
and Joe C.
5'7" pussies. Joe C's like 5'1", if that. And these guys are like ruthless hazing. Like I think one of them hit somebody. It's like, really, like, Joe C. Any one of us here could pick you up and like slam you through a table, ECW wrestling style. Right. Like, what do you do? And they're going crazy. And I'm like, they would lock us in this laundry room that was tiny. And my pledge guys are like 25 guys. So it feels like you're in a fucking phone booth. Can't move. It's sweaty. They turn the dryer on. So you're hot as shit. And then they're like, don't leave. And they put fear in you then, but you find out that they all just left they all went out. Like, so that they come back. Like,
how long did you all wait in there? Till they came back?
Till they came back. Nuh-uh. And they're all drunk. And so then they're drunk. One time, they would make you, some reason, like across the board, for fraternities, they make you plank a lot, like as a form of punishment, which sucks. You have to sit there and hold it on your elbows on like a tile floor. Mm-hmm. And we're in our boxers. And one night we're doing that. And all of a sudden, I feel someone lift up the back of my box. I'm like, what the? And I turn around. And like, don't turn back around. And I feel a liquid going down my ass. And I was like, oh, and like a second later, it was burning like I've never felt in my life. Some dude poured Tabasco down the crack of my ass, which Tabasco on your skin, it burns.
Yeah.
So like
holy
so I had like a burnt crack.
Holy shit.
So I remember like weeks later being like, I think after it was all over.
Is that kosher?
Yeah.
Is that kosher?
Come on, guys. I remember being like, I was asking around, like, hey, man, anyone know who did that to me? And they're like, the guy's like, oh, it was me. It was like a guy I was cool with. And I was like, what? Why'd you do that? And he's like, oh, someone did it to me, which is like the ultimate fraternity. It's like you hated it. But it's like, so why pass it down? Like, come on, dude. But so I'm pledging. I already hate it. There's like 5 guys in my pledge class who like I hate with a vengeance. This one dude, I could not, he like, when you're pledging, like they try to separate, like any infraction, like, but this one guy would always fuck up and we'd all get in trouble and he just wouldn't give a shit. So I couldn't stand this guy. And a bunch of them, all these dudes knew each other. Like so the New York and New Jersey Jewish world, like I never went to Jewish camp and a lot of people do, which I don't know, Jews in camps, it's a hack joke, but don't usually work.
Yeah.
So they all know each other. So it's like, oh, my cousin? Like, they went to camp this. Oh, like, so they all, like...
Because those camps they're like for the summer.
Yes.
Or a month.
And you can go, like, some kids go from, like, New York, they end up in, like, New Hampshire.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, oh,
and we're here for 2 months.
Yeah, you met, like, my friend from home. Like, so they all knew a friend of like, and here I am, it's a guy from Massachusetts, I know no one. And they're all, like, they all look the same. They all have, like, a fade, and, like, they're very specific. They're wearing, like, lugs and shit, and just... So we go on, like, you guys got to go on a pledge trip. You're going to Tulane University, New Orleans. They're like, we're going to rent you Winnebagos illegally on a fake ID. Because you had to be a certain age, so I think 25 to rent a car.
And you're going to pledge down.
No, we're just going on like, we're giving you a break. You're going on a trip.
So you're still not in the fraternity yet.
They're like, go on a trip. I remember this dude, the dude who rented the Winnebagos was like, he must have been 25. And this fucking guy... No, he wasn't. He was under 25. He had to rent illegally, but he was old. He was a super duper senior. And the guy, like, I remember his thing was he would do this trick where he would hit the bottle as hard as he could on a beer bottle, and he would knock out the circle part on the bottom. So he'd hollow out the bottle, and then he would just break it over his forehead as like a party trick. And I remember being at a party and he did it, and he just gashed his head like as wide open as he could gash
like
it.
Jimmy Snuka.
Just like covered in blood, like wearing a blood mask. And they're like, dude, we got to call paramedics. And the guy's like, no. They call paramedics. He's refusing to be taken in. They're basically like, we're going to arrest you if you do, like, you need to be stitched up. This guy was the biggest moron I've ever met in my life. Guy's name was Shep. I don't know what his last name was.
Jesus Christ.
So he rents the Winnebagos. We go down on this trip. The expectation was they give you like a big brother fraternity. Like, you got to steal shit from the school store and bring it back for your big brother. Which you're like, oh, great. Like, all I need to be is arrested in New Orleans. So I'm on this trip.
On another campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the community, the camp community, these guys all had buddies at Tulane. It's like, oh, fuck yeah, we're going to see X, Y, Z. These are my friends, whatever. They'll take care of us. So we're in these Winnebagos. I remember it was a big deal about what Winnebago you ended up, like high school bullshit of like, oh, like this one's the cool one, whatever. I end up obviously on the less cool one, which was fine with me. It was like the guys I was actually got along with was on it. Go to Tulane, have the weekend there. Sunday rolls around. We got to go back. We're in school, so we got to go back. And I remember my Winnebago left early. The other one, they were all like out partying harder than us. They're like, we'll meet you back. So then we're driving back. This is pre-cell phones. So we're driving back. I still remember we're in Cleveland, Kentucky, I think.
Wow.
Which is a bizarre.
Yeah, Cleveland, Kentucky.
And so we make a rest stop, and there's a payphone. And my roommate, the dude who like knew a lot of these guys, and like their moms know each, it's a whole network. He calls home, and she's like, "Did you hear what happened?" And he's like, "No." And she's like, "You guys got to stop driving." And I see his face like completely change, and he like I think started crying. And so what happened was the other Winnebago is coming, I think either on an off ramp or off, and the guy driving like was messing with like CDs and shit, like looking down, goes off the ramp.
He swerved and went off the ramp?
Off the ramp. A dude was sleeping in the bed above the driver. He goes out the window.
No.
And he got pinned between the vehicle and the tree.
Oh, my God.
Died. So then.
Wait. So he goes off the off-ramp and hits a tree, and the tree stops, and it pinches the guy?
So the guy, like when
or are they airborne?
I think he must have hit the brakes before, like seeing it. And that threw the guy out.
Oh,
he got pinned stuck between a.
They killed their friend.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
And that guy just transferred to school that semester.
Fuck.
Yeah, with like a best friend, and they had another best friend. Like they're all these guys. A lot of them are from the same town, same area. I didn't know him well. I mean, I knew the guy. I knew him. So then next, like a lot of this stuff for me, like I was already not happy. So I was just in like a dark depression. I don't even remember. I remember next thing I know, I just remember I'm in New Jersey. I get a flight there to go to this funeral. Like in my mind, I'm like, I just want to go home, like to where I'm from, but it's like, I can't drop out of school.
How far into year one are we right now?
This is second semester,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Holy shit,
yeah, it wasn't a good start.
God damn. Holy fuck. You've been to a funeral. I mean, did you get into the fraternity?
Well, so
after this, I feel like everybody should just get in.
So the school was investigating the fraternity. Like you rented
Winnebago
illegally,
this guy's bleeding from the fucking face,
which is a huge lawsuit. The school, I think, got sued.
They did.
I think like the fraternity was like, they're like, you may have to disband because like it was like this is that bad, like such bad PR. It's like it gets news.
Yeah.
So we go back to campus and they're like, basically they're like, it's a dark mood. Like everyone's in a bad place, and they're like, you guys are done. Pledging's over. Basically, you're in. But it's like, it's just like, yeah, it's just like,
yeah, right.
Okay, like great. And then, even though it was a big school, everyone knew, like everyone knew who we were. So it's like you just went everywhere you went, like you just feel like people like looking at you, talking about you. Like people didn't know how to act around, like the few people that I knew outside of there just like were weird to you. And so I just was like literally shut off from. I was just like, I'm going to stay in my room, and I had I was like a kid counting down to Christmas, counting down the days until I was like, I need to transfer. I don't know where. I don't know how. I'm getting out of here. And then, I got out of there. And then on my way out, the year gets bookended. So a lot of the guys in the fraternity weren't happy that I was leaving. Even though I wasn't like some of the older guys liked me, but like, I guess so they didn't like that I was leaving. Like one guy's like, "You're making the mistake of your life, man." Like, sits me down. It's like,
what he said.
yeah, I was like, okay, like, cool. Like, hey, man, I'm not happy. Like, I'm not happy here. So, like, doesn't feel like a mistake at all. And he's just like, gives me this pep talk of like, sometimes you turn it around, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't think so. So then just apparently somebody didn't like me, or they didn't like that I was leaving. So then all of a sudden, there's rumors that I'm leaving school because I'm gay. And people,
Here we go again.
Yeah, out of nowhere. It's like and in my mind, I'm like, am I doing something that's putting on? Like, am I coming off? Am I coming off a different way than I think I'm coming off? I had a girlfriend, by the way, at Penn State from my high school, and that was like, I'd visit back for. That was horrific. Just because you're trying to, you're like in your head, you're like, oh, this is going to work.
Yeah.
It's Penn State's in the middle of nowhere.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
I went up there, did not get molested by Sandusky somehow. You figure that probably would have been the topper. But so then that rumor, and I have a guy, one of the guys who I really like, nice dude, comes up to me as a sophomore, and he's like, he's wasted. I'm not, I don't think. And he's like, look, man, it's all right that you're gay, man. Like, you're cool with me.
Kofi told me.
Yeah, he's like, you're cool with me, man. He's like, I accept it. I'm like, dude, like, what? I'm like, I'm not. But like, again, he wouldn't accept.
Nobody would be like,
nah, I'm just like,
all right, man.
And I to this day, I don't know who said that. And so I got out of there basically.
Jesus Christ.
I've talked to like one.
The year you were gay at University of Maryland.
They say a lot of dudes experiment. I should have. I had every right to jerk a guy off as a trial, and I didn't take it. I had a free pass.
Holy shit!
I was gay for a year. That I didn't touch a dude, didn't kiss a dude. My gay year at Maryland. So I left. I transferred to a tiny school in Florida.
What school?
It's called Rollins College.
Finally went to where it was warm.
Well, then we had the record snowfall. I was like, this is the shittiest.
That's right. That happened.
I should have ended up at JMU, man.
You should have just stayed.
I should have gone. By the way, the guys in this fraternity were.
What a fucking shitty year. Jesus Christ.
Have you ever heard of a drug called lemons?
Mm-mm.
I think it was from these club kids from New York and New Jersey.
Look, man, I'm telling you, weed is it.
Okay.
I've never done acid, coke. I'm not into pills or any of that shit.
So these guys were just doing these pills. Like, I think it was just,
lemons.
I think it was just roofies.
Yeah,
that they called lemons, and these guys were just every night.
They're taking them or giving them to girls.
I'm sure both, but taking them like crazy. And I'm like you. I'm a drink. I did a little bit of weed that didn't really sit with me good, so I stopped. But.
And see, I'm the other way with the alcohol. I'm like,
okay,
I'm good. I'll have half a beer and I'm good.
No, so these guys are just getting like crazy, fall down. It was just, I was like, I got to get out of here. So I had two friends who went to this school called Rollins from high school, and I was a ship without I had no captain of the ship, no clue what I was getting. If it were up to me, I probably would have gone home and not gone to school. And my mom.
Did your buddy who went with you? Did he finish school anywhere?
He went to UMass. Actually,
oh, he did.
Yeah, and he finished. But so my mom was like, "Hey, go visit your friends. Like, you're unhappy on spring break." I went down there. I was like, "Yeah, it fits. It's small, warmer, good enough." So I ended up there. But I remember the first day of my sophomore year. I drive down with these two of my best friends from growing up. We all played sport. We played high school basketball. One of my friends is actually the pro golfer. He played golf in college. Did about zero work in college.
Oh yeah,
he put it on the line. I'll give him that.
You wear headphones in class too?
He didn't, but he put it on the line. But so I go down there, and I remember the campus. If anyone knows Rollins College, is like, it's picturesque. It's on a lake. It looks like a country. There's a pool on campus. Like, it's unreal. And I remember I drive down. We drove from Massachusetts, like in a caravan with my buddies, and like I remember just going down to that lake, and I'm just looking at the water because I thought like, oh, you leave. All this depression, all this last year will be gone. But, it's like wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah.
And so I just feel that same dark depression, and I just go down to this lake, and I'm just weeping by myself.
Oh, my God. You're just out there crying.
Just by myself, just because, like, I'm like, fuck, man, here I am. I thought everything was going to change first day. And it followed me down. And then I sucked the guy's dick right there.
And then Maryland started telling me to come back.
And then I saw Roderick.
What's up, Rod?
The things turned for me. The next 3 years were way better. I found my footing.
Thank God.
Yeah, it was a tough start.
That's a hell of a shot out of the gate, man.
Man,
Jesus
it was
Christ.
it was pretty much Murphy's Law.
That's a 10-year. That's a 10-year enough for 10 years that you lived in one.
That was
fucking
before year. That was a full college time. That's why I was like, I've had everything I've had here.
Yeah. Thanks, Marilyn.
Ari Shafir, you can take me. Jim Henson, you can.
It's all yours, Connie Chung.
You guys can take it. I'm out. fuck your crabs. Fuck Old Bay seasoning. I am gone.
I don't blame you one bit, dude.
Oh, by the way, while I was there, one more story. This one of the kids I could not stand. They were 3 dudes, and they were good friends with the dude who passed away. I wasn't great friends with the guy, but I knew him. And so these guys are in a dark place. Their good friend from home is the guy who was driving. He left campus immediately. Like, he was gone.
God, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I can't either. He's gone. So this guy, there's 3 dudes. These dudes, I'd never encountered this in my life. Like, for me, Dave Matthews has always been like a laughable group. You know, it's just like if you're in, like, chicks are into Dave Matthews, you know? Like, growing up, I knew of them. I was always into hip-hop, never into them.
But weren't they always around Virginia?
I think they were big in that area.
Right? Yeah.
And so these 3 dudes, like, they followed Dave Matthews like people follow Fish.
Right.
Like, they had bootleg tape, and I was like, that's lame. These 3 guys were from Long Island. And they were like thick as thieves. They had like one big dude was like, they're like, this one small guy would just run his fucking mouth, and the big dude would like back it up if he had to. So I forget what happened. This guy had a pair of like toy handcuffs on at the thing, and he's like, hey man, and he slapped it on my hand real quick, and then slapped it on like the banister at the fraternity house. And so I'm just stuck there, and I was like trying to grab, because I was like, I didn't like the guy to begin with, and I was like, hey man, I was trying to grab him, and he was out of my reach.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did grab hold of him once, and then his big butt, I'm like, so I was like, I forget how long I was locked up, but then I was like, I'm fucking done with this. Like,
damn.
Yeah, these guys are scumbags.
Yeah,
like,
fuck them.
Yeah, like I'm like you're the guy was tiny. And it's like wouldn't have been a fair fight, me versus him. It's like, hey man, you want to mess around? Let's do it. And his big buddy comes. He's like, hey man, I'm like, really, dude? Like, I think obviously everyone was in a dark place, but I keep in touch with about one guy from there. That's about it. I ran into one guy in Ralph's in L.A. from there. And he kind of looked like, I was like, hey man, what's up? And he gave a quick what's up.
Did he? And
He's probably like, oh, this guy's probably smoking D's in West Hollywood.
He probably told her, I saw that gay guy was in our friend.
Yeah, man, he's gayer than ever. You should have seen him. I got to get into. I'll segue into this. It's Valentine's Day coming up, and as I said, you can tell as a kid. This is before I was in elementary school, but before like I was into girls, but like like I wanted the attention of it. Like it was a status thing. And so I'm always the fat kid of the no lady attention. I was a very late bloomer until like high school. I was not getting much of anything.
Really?
Yeah, but always the funny guy. But
always,
but that's like
safe friend.
Yeah, it's the funny guy.
Yeah.
But I'll be your pal.
Right.
I'm like to touch my titties.
I'll touch yours.
Yeah. So I remember elementary school. Valentine's Day is rolling around, and I'm just like I would love any sort of attention. And so then, out of nowhere, there's a box of chocolates, Forrest Gump style, ends up in my mailbox at my house. And it's like, it says my name. Like, in hindsight, there were some red flags, which I'll get to after the story. So I get this box, and it's like with I think a card. And it's flat,
Oh, wait, how old are you again at this point?
Like, I'd say 4th or 5th grade.
Okay.
Elementary school. And so it's flowery, you're real. I'm your secret admirer, and I have such a huge crush on you, and I was too embarrassed to do this, but like I'll reveal myself soon, and blah 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 blah, on and on and on. And and I'm pumped. I'm like, I'm calling buddies up. I'm like, oh my, who could it be?
Right.
And I'm like, I think it might be this person. Like I have a class, whatever, trying to figure it out. And I forget how long it went on, but then my brother's like, it was me. I sent you that.
Your brother.
And I remember just such a gut punch.
That sucked. Yeah.
Such a gut. In hindsight, I don't think there was any postage on this thing. Like what?
Oh, he just stuck it in
what if someone's parents drive them?
Yeah,
you're in 4th grade. Like when they ride their bike, how do they know where I live?
How long did he let you go for?
I think it was probably I would guess like 4 days to a week.
Oh, that's great.
Which is enough to just tell everybody, I'm
get
on
all
top of
pumped
the
up.
world.
Look at this fucking idiot.
And I remember just being so beside myself. For some reason, my whole family like thought it was funny. And so I'm just like bawling, crying. And they're like dying, like this is like this is the greatest, this is the greatest prank. Like like great ingenuity to my brother. You cry like my feelings are hurt over here.
Shit.
So it was a similar. I should have learned there because it was very similar to the modeling. You gotta be careful, man. You gotta hedge your bets. Yeah, my brother still up. He apologizes every now and then for like he's like I treated you wrong as a kid.
Because there's more. It's not just that.
We fought nonstop.
I love that it got to him
till about 18. We had like, have you ever heard of a breezeway? It's like, so we had a breezeway. It's, if you don't know what it is, it's between. It's like go between your garage and your house.
Yeah.
And so we had that, and so the roof, you could get to it through my sister's window and sit on top of it. And so when he was in middle school, when I was in elementary school, he would get home before me because we got out later. And I would walk up, you have your head down, and he would just throw like a bucket of water on my head. Like, fairly regularly.
He's up there just sitting
waiting. Probably just waiting for like.
What's your age difference?
3 years.
I love it.
And so he had, in any physical fight, like I would get some licks in, but I would always, like, it was the type where you get one good in, and you're like, oh, this is coming back.
Yeah, like,
bad.
He's gonna be pissed.
I hit him too hard, dude. He would pretend to wash his hands at our kitchen sink, and you know that, like, I don't know if sinks have them too much anymore. The gun, the sprayer. Yeah. He would just have it ready and turn it and just drill me and like, dude, come on. He would do a lot with water. He would wake me up with a bucket of water to the face.
And your parents never got on?
A little bit, but like when they really got on him is when I went to swim practice one time, and in the winter, and I'm wearing the Speedo. Nothing to hide, or nowhere to hide, and I have bruises all over my body. And the coach comes up to me and they're like, "Is everything okay?"
You're like, man, my brother's being shaky.
Oh, and I was like, what?
Your parents?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, what? I was like, cause I'm like, I don't understand. Like,
are you gay? Are you trying to come
We've seen you looking at some of the other boys.
It's all right with me.
Hey, we're fine with it. We don't care what you do. And we saw a glory hole in the locker room. We think you did it. So they're like, and I'm like, oh, you think these are from my parents? I was like, oh no, these are from my brother. And the coach is like, that's still a form of abuse. And I remember in that moment being like, wait till I go home and tell my parents.
Yeah, fuck.
And so I went home and I was like, well, the swim coach thinks you guys are beating me. But the good news is it's not you. It's him. And but it didn't, it didn't buy me much protection.
Did they have to go talk to him?
They talked to him, but like, we just fought. I mean, some of it was my fault. I would, like when you're a little brother, do you have a younger brother?
Yeah, he's not quite 4 years.
Would you guys fight?
We would fight. We would fuck with him a lot too.
I would push
scare
buttons.
The shit out of him.
I would push buttons to the point of like they would be, like I probably deserved it.
Yeah.
But you just don't know any. But like, I got to the point where the fights got bad. I got to be the height I am now, and my brother's, he's 5'10".
Then it just shifted.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a little bit. Yeah. He's 5'10". My brother could dunk though. He was.
Damn, I'm 5'10". I could never dunk.
He was 1,000-point scorer in basketball.
He could dunk.
Dude, he dunked in games.
That's big at 5'10".
5'10", white, Jewish, and you dunk in games? That's rare.
I mean,
that's a rare
XXX, and he's still nailing it.
He would, he was
competitive games.
He was in dunk contests.
What? He's like your Spud Webb.
He was in this dunk contest with this guy who must have been like 28. This guy, he went by the name Bunny Jefferson. I don't know his real name, something right. Jefferson. And his gimmick was he would wear pajamas and bunny slippers into the gym, like House Party, Pajama Party, the movie. So he comes in. I remember it was in this town. My brother would do pretty well. He'd do 360. He could do like, he was a 2-foot jumper, so he wasn't doing anything crazy. But like when you see a 5'10", like, probably one of the only white guys in the
even
contest.
If you're just regular dunk it, that's beyond impressive.
So that was what I was following. Now here I come. I'm 6'3". I'm carrying extra weight. My coach has my brother, who's like if he told him to run through a wall, my brother's running through the wall. With me, I'd be like, what? Why you want? Like, because I show up, I have a beard in high school, and he's like, you got to shave your beard, and I'm like, why?
You had a beard in high school?
I did, yeah.
You're like my buddy Jim. But see, usually guys like that are bald.
Yeah, because they produce more.
Yeah.
I got hair though.
You do.
But I guess he was buying all the alcohol with no fake ID.
That's always our buddy too.
Which is the worst.
No ID at all.
It's a gift and a curse.
They didn't even card him.
You come
called
in,
him sir and shit.
You have to go in with a scroll because you're buying it for like every group of friends in school. You're like, do you drink Mad Dog 2020?
Yeah, we have Mad Dog.
You're buying Mad Dog. You're
Boone's
buying
Farm.
My buddy loved Boone's Farm.
Cisco and the Bartles and James.
Why can't you just drink? Why not just beer? You do it. I once drank. What is it? It's in a Tanqueray, straight up.
I'm not a Tanqueray.
Tasted like pine needles.
Oh,
we're just drinking it out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Me and my friend were like, what are we doing? You look back at that, and you're like, what? We're drinking like straight up gasoline, rocket fuel.
I just had some moonshine the other night. I did this show up in Northern California, and this guy gave me some butterscotch moonshine, and it was the fucking best shit. It was so I couldn't believe it. I was like, "This is smooth."
Isn't it? Like, where were you in a restaurant or something? Or just
no, we were actually at a winery.
Okay,
and this dude was like, he makes all this shit. But he's like, "Try this shit."
Because I was gonna say, like, I know comics who just take like just like unwrapped drugs from like audience, and it's like, dude, what do you?
I wouldn't take food.
You don't even know what.
I'm scared of food.
I'm not taking it. I barely want to shake. I'm fist bump sort of guy. I don't like germs.
Yeah,
these guys are like, hey, here's a jar of shrooms I got.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna eat them right here.
It could be PCP. You don't know where you're going.
It could be anything.
You're like, these guys just go. I know. I have friends who are comics who are like, I found a pill on the ground. I thought it was drug, so I took it. It's like, that is not my.
No, that's not me.
Not what
I'll never forget. There was this one time I watched that. It was the Whitney and Bobby Brown show.
Yeah.
And it was an episode where they were shopping in like London or something, and he kept asking the guy, Bobby Brown kept asking, I think he was asking for Viagra. I might have it wrong, but I think he was asking for Viagra, and the guy goes, well, I don't have that, but I've got these, and he pulls his hand out, and he's got like 3 or 4 pills in it, and Bobby Brown grabs them, throws them in his mouth, and takes a swig of water.
Doesn't even finish the sales pitch.
But he didn't even know what the fuck they were. You might not even been able to take that combination of pills.
He's got pocket lint of change. He just swallowed it. He's like, oh wait, I had a cyanide pill in there. I hope that didn't get into my palm.
Oh my god,
dude! I got a quick story. So I delivered groceries for years in Hollywood as a day job. Brutal job. I think I talked about it a little bit on Crab Feast with O'Neill when we were on with you guys. But
yeah, you got to check their episode out.
Final
10.
We were latecomers there.
I
wanted to get on the ground floor with HoneyDew, man. I wanted to get some of those stock options.
Damn.
So I don't know why Bobby Brown sparked this. I think I know why in a way. But so we would deliver to this, Park La Brea in L.A.?
Yep.
If you don't know it here, but it's basically like all these high-rise buildings in one.
I swear to God, it looks like it used to be projects.
I think it will be in about 15 years.
Yeah, it'll probably.
Across the street from there, they have these luxury places called Palazzo.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao. I used to watch 24/7.
That's where he was staying.
Yeah,
his buddy was living in the closet.
But like 15 of those guys were in there.
Yeah, it's like
together.
You got money. You can't get 3 rooms. So I never saw him, but we would deliver to that Palazzo, both of those a lot. But Palazzo was horrible. It was like every douchey LA, like they're all by the pool. Sometimes you have to deliver shit to the pool, like, these like frat dude, like, hey, we'll bring it over here. So I remember we would always deliver to this guy in there. He would get like a bottle of wine, like one other thing, and he would always give you exact change. No tip you every time.
No tip?
No tip you. And we all hated going there. Because you see, you would see the names on the screen. You'd be like, oh, shit. And you'd have to, and he was a dick, too. I once gave him the bag, and, no tips coming, so I'm not giving you much service. So I just put the bag, he would open the door like a crack, and I'd put it down by like his feet. He's like, you're not going to put it in the door? And I was like, all right. So I put it in the door, and the guy it shuts the fucking door. I'm like, okay. And he would always wear like a wife beater. And then I remember I come back to work and they're like, hey man, I forget the guy's name. You hear what happened to so-and-so? It was that guy. And I was like, no. And like, oh, he's dead.
What?
And I was like, wait, what? And like, look it up.
Saying another Winnebago story.
No. So I'm like, look it up. So I look it up on my phone. And one time actually I got his girlfriend. He wasn't there. She's like, oh, come in. Super nice. She's like, come on in. Like the nicest could be. And I was like, in my mind, like, what's she doing with this asshole? And so this guy, this made big news. So this guy is on the phone with Floyd Mayweather. This guy's like a rapper who I've never heard of. He was Isaac Hayes' son, I think. I think he went by the name Hayes. So he's on the phone with Floyd Mayweather, good friends. And Mayweather, I guess, is allegedly telling him, like, hey, man, your girl is cheating on you. I guess she was like some reality show singing person.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, your girl is cheating on you. Like, with this artist, you got to get rid of her. On the call, Mayweather hears gunfire. That girl's killed. Kills the girlfriend on the phone with Mayweather.
Wait, hold on a second. You're telling me while they're talking, he just had pulled a gun out and shot her because he's on his word?
Yes.
Holy shit.
She's taking a bath. It was like 6 or 7 a.m., which who calls somebody at 6, 7 a.m.? But so I don't know what happened the rest of the call. Mayweather either, I don't know if he said turn yourself in, whatever. Or all of a sudden, Mayweather hears another bullet. Guy kills himself.
Jesus Christ.
So I read the article. This guy, I guess, had like some crazy amount of weed in that apartment. They just said he was a drug dealer. You're like, and I'm then in my mind, I'm like, oh, no wonder he's opening the door crack.
Right.
Like this guy is just a guy who's protective. What's in a bunch of guns in the apartment. Like, I'd been to that apartment probably 25 times. You're like, man, that's crazy.
Damn.
And here's what a good guy Mayweather is. That guy, I guess, was a good friend of his. And this, not only that, even if they're not good friends, but you're on the phone, you hear a murder, suicide you're on the phone, and you're partially responding. Like, you give this guy news.
Fuck yeah. That you don't 100% know is true, I'm guessing.
Where is Floyd that night? L.A. Lakers game, front row.
Nuh-uh.
I saw it on TV, man. I'm like, this guy is.
He just listened to a guy kill an innocent. Cheating's not a crime. Innocent girl, and then commit suicide.
And I'm assuming Mayweather had spent a good portion of his day talking to cops. Because I mean, you heard everything. You know, the guy's out of the game.
Christ.
Big smile. I was like, this guy is a different breed.
Wow.
I was like, fuck. And I didn't like Mayweather to begin with. He has a bunch of domestic violence shit.
He does have a lot.
And I just don't like the whole persona. I just think it's lame. God. But after that, I was like, this guy is not. I mean, that's as low. That's low. But like in my mind, I was like, just when you read it spooked me. Just like you're like, man, say that guy came out and his lady was talking to me a certain way he didn't like. You don't know where this guy's head's at. Or what's going on. But yeah, I was like, shit, I gotta get out of this job.
Damn, dude. No shit. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I'll bring it out of death here. I gotta get it. So my brother, as I said, was a part of. He's since changed his ways, but my brother's always been kind of an all or nothing sort of guy. He's giving you 80 miles per hour. He's giving you 0. And so he was, whatever reason, he decided he was not going to drink at all in high school. Which is that's your deal. That's your deal.
That's interesting, though, because I don't even remember anyone I knew making that conscious decision to not just all the way through high school.
So my high school had this group called GUTS. It was an acronym. It's Growing Up and Taking a Stand. And it's like you sign some contract.
Okay.
You're like, I'm not going to drink. So him and all his buddies were in it.
You know what? I mean to interrupt, but I feel like we did have that. It was like a Mothers Against Drunk Driving contract for like prom night or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you weren't going to drink, but if you did, you were going to get a limo or a safe ride or something like that.
This was just like, we're going to abstain from drugs and alcohol. And that was his deal. So I get to high school, and, part of me, even though we didn't get along, I wanted to emulate my brother. So I was like, me and my friends joined this thing. I'm coming out of 8th grade. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing anything. But then, like, as time goes on, we're like, man, like, everyone's, people going to parties. People are hooking up.
Yeah.
And what's the one thing that's always there and involved? It's alcohol. So we're like, man, this group isn't doing us well. So we all dropped out, and we started drinking. I started drinking, I think, my freshman or sophomore year. Remember the first time I ever drank was these hockey players who were always like drinking when they're like 7 years old. I grew up in the Northeast, and it's big hockey.
7.
No, I mean, I'm joking.
I know,
but I'm
still
talking.
young.
These guys are all dipping. Like, they're all like, hockey players are different kind.
I mean, we had kids smoking weed telling me in 5th grade, and I was like, 5th grade?
Yeah, man, you're early.
That's way early.
At least wait till 6th.
Yeah, new school.
Get into the middle school. Yeah, you got now grown problems. You got dioramas to make. So I remember these dudes took me to, like, when you're that age, you got to go to like random parks and you can't because you nowhere to go. And when you're from a cold weather climate, we just drink outside in the dead of winter. And like
we would put the kegs outside to keep them cold.
I remember even now people are like, you drink beers fast, and the reason is we would all be in one car, and you're not going to drink in the car because like you're going to get cops come, you're inside, you're done. So we would go outside and you drink, and as soon like you have 12, whatever you have, you divvy it up for everyone. And as soon as you're done drinking, you can go back in the car with the heat. So I remember you just learned to drink.
You're conditioned to pounding beer.
Like a maniac. So like as an adult, like people are like, what the hell? Like you just drank that beer in 2 sips, and you can't get rid of that habit. So my brother didn't drink, and so my parents had no experience with dealing with someone, some drunk idiot coming home, and they didn't know I was drinking. So I'm at this party. And
Are you still part of Guts at this point?
No, I'm out.
Oh,
we were out, and like the head guidance counselor, who was this dude who must have...
He's gay. He's leaving because he's gay.
Look at himself. He takes that bottle in too deep.
That's what it is. He's gay. That's
so
all right, man.
The head of this thing, this guidance counselor, who I think may have been into dude, he loved my friend. This guy I had a good looking friend. He loved him, and he was like pissed that we dropped. Like he knew everything about everyone. Like who's fucking one of those teachers. You're like, too. Like what are you doing? Do you have a narc or something? So he was pissed we dropped out. So I'm at this party, and back then, I'm a middle child. Ended up a comic for a reason, needed attention. I would wear overalls as like, for irony's sake, and just like wear them to parties, fucking around. I'm not from the South. I'm from a, northern most place. So I'm wearing overalls, and I just come out of the gate. In high school, it's all about finding your limits, and you go over. And how do you find them? You go over them, and you just puke everywhere. You get wasted.
Right, yeah.
So we're at this party, and I remember we're just going. And you get there, and you're 18. You're just full of testosterone. You get crazy. So we're just drinking like maniacs. And I remember we would always be like, oh, that'll be enough for us. And then next thing you're out, and you're like, we're out of beer. Like, well, now what? And so all the girls we hung out with would always overbuy like crazy. So I remember me and this guy just pounding Zima. Remember Zima?
Of course.
I think it did, but I don't think it took off.
Oh, no.
It looked and tasted kind of like Sprite.
Yeah.
Very syrupy. I remember we're drinking those, pounding these girls Zima like outside so they don't catch us, but we're filling them back up with water and trying to like beat the caps back onto them, putting them back. And I remember one of the girls, someone put water in this. So I remember, the night started early. People's parents started to take her to party, and like 11 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, I got to go home. And my friends are like, dude, you go home. I'm like stumbling. Like, you go home now. Like, you're getting caught. And I'm just like, I got to go home. I feel like I'm going to puke. I'm like, I got to get out of here. So they drive me home. I'm like passing out in the car. And they're like, we're in my driveway. And I remember they're like, don't go in. Like, don't do this. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go in. So I stumble out. I walk inside, and I'm like, all right, in my mind, like, be cool. My parents were most likely in bed. If they were up, I was done. And so I walk in, I see a note, and it's like, we went out to dinner, we'll be back. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I just hit the jackpot. So I think I drank some water, trying to, like, sober up a little bit. Stumble upstairs. I go to take a piss. You have to undo the overall latches, which is only a Southern man knows that problem, or somebody wearing them like me, like an idiot. So I take the piss, I don't do them back up, and I make the fatal mistake of let me lay in my bed for like just a second.
Oh no,
just a second. And for whatever reason, I was the only kid in my family to have a TV in my room, and so I turn. Have you ever you wake up and your TV's up to like 87 decibel levels because you're drunk? So I have the TV up to like insane volume. My mom. All I remember is my mom coming in my room. Jeff, I'm like, yeah. Wait, like I'm wasted. She's like, well, are you all right? And I look, my overalls are around my knees, pants hanging off around my knees.
Dick's out.
I don't think my dick's out, but I'm in my boxers. TV's on full blast. And I don't even remember the rest of the conversation. I just remember the next morning. She's like, were you drinking? And I was like, no. And for whatever reason, the no sold, like that sold her.
It did?
But then she was like, you were. And I was like, yeah, it was. I didn't get grounded in, but they weren't happy. They weren't impressed. This is the first time they dealt with it.
Right.
And then my brother did me bad that second time in a row. He didn't pave the way. for the brother.
He stayed guts all the way
Didn't
through.
hook a brother up. He started drinking when he was like 30 years old. Like a real loser. Had his first.
I'm chain smoking and drinking now.
Guy had I think he had like his first taste as a married man. It's like, what do? You saving yourself for marriage? It was weak. I have time for one more.
Yeah.
So related to underage drinking. In my town, these cops, like their main priority was busting. If they busted an underage drinker, like it made their year. That must have been like how they were paid. At one point, my town used taxpayer money to buy a hovercraft. There was a river nearby, and they were like, and I'm assuming
a hovercraft.
What
crimes out there on the river?
What could you possibly have to do other than like just to cruise up and down this river in a hovercraft? It was like millions of dollars in the paper. It was like $3 million these idiots used to buy it.
Jesus Christ!
And there's no crime where I'm from, to be honest. And if there is, they're not solving it because they're just busy busting parties.
We had a lot of Maryland state troopers that were like that in our area too.
And so these guys just had a hard on.
That was it.
There was this one main cop, and he, like, anytime something happened, I think he must have been most senior. He would make like there was a drinking and driving accident in my town where a kid unfortunately was killed. And the guy, he didn't say like good, but he was not remote. It was basically, it should be a less. And this dude's like, someone's life just got cut short. That's your so everyone hated this guy. And so we would hang out at this elementary school, like in the parking lot, like dazed and confused. We had nowhere to go. And pre-cell phones, you would just drive from one, like no one's there. Oh, let's go there. And you could have just been missing everybody. And so there was like a series of weeks where the cops were just swarming out, and they would just beeline to who, like if you had a beer in your, and we were like, they must be. There was like a road that went above this place, and like they must be up there with like binoculars or night vision or something, because they were going right for who was that, like, and they would arrest you right, boom, you're out. And there's a night, it's slow, we're bored, and I'm like, I have an idea. So I was like, I have an idea. I want to test out to see if they're staking out this school. So we go to the grocery store, and I think I forget how I knew they had them. But have you ever had remember IBC root beer?
Oh, yeah.
So we got like they're not quite 40 ounces. I think they were 32s. So the big tall boy, I think we had some of them in bags to look like we're drinking 40s. Yeah. So we all get those, and we're sitting around. There's no one. We show up, and there's two dudes we knew, they were football players. One of them was drinking like Budweiser, and we're like, hey man, just so you know, like our plan is to lure cop. And he's like, oh yeah, whatever, fine. And so we're making all this noise, just being idiots, drinking the root beer. And all of a sudden, like I'd say 4 or 5 cop cars pull up in the Mighty Duck Flying V with the motorcycle cop in front.
Are you serious?
I swear, dude. And it was like they were ready to take like 10 guys to jail. And the main cop, who we all hated, the guy who was that dick, he gets out. He has like 8 pairs of cuffs in his hand. He drops one. And one of my friends he's a real like northeastern hippie, and he's like, "You drop your cuffs," and he's like, "What? Who said that?" And so,
right away, all amped up.
And so and one of the guys has leather gloves on, like he's like can't touch the evidence, like he's got a fingerprint and shit. And so in my mind, I'm starting to be like this may be a horrible, because this is their word again. They say this is beer, we're all fucked. And like all these guys have stashes, like real typical. And so they get out. And they go right up to that football player with the Budweiser. He gets cuffed. Boom, he's in a car.
He's already in, right?
So we're like, oh. So we're like it took like 5 seconds. And we're like, oh, we all look around at each other like, oh, shit. Like, this wasn't part of the deal. And so everyone's getting worried. And so this guy, the main guy, comes up to us and he's like, being a real dick. Like, look at what we have here, huh? You guys just having a good night out? He's like, look, you guys drinking? What are you drinking? And we all like, no one says anything. And this guy was with us, like tilts the bottle to him. He's like, root beer? Like kind of ass. And the guy's like, I'll be the judge of that. And he rips it out of his hand. He smells it. And he's like, oh, that's root beer, all right. And he's pissed, beyond pissed. That because he knows what we're doing.
Right.
He's pissed. And we're like, some of us are laughing. And he's like, not happy.
You called it though.
Not happy. So then they start. They'd follow no rules of like proceed. Like they would search your car. Like, no, you can't say no. So they start looking in our cars with flashlights, and all of a sudden they go to my friend's car, and they're like, "Oh, look at this! somebody's got a cooler in the back seat. And that wasn't part of the plan. And we're like, fuck, this idiot.
You didn't even know?
No. We're like, this idiot forgot he had a cooler in his back seat. Like, what the fuck, man? So the cop's like, how about we take the cooler out and get a little inspection of it, huh? And so my friend takes the cooler out. He opens it up, and when we just see like our friend's back, and the cop, I can't see what's in it. We're all like, shit, man, this guy's going to jail. And you hear the cop go, yogurt. That's real healthy.
Yeah, a cooler of yogurt. What the fuck? Who carries that?
And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I'm going to tell you guys this, and I'm going to tell it to you once. You get the fuck out of here. And if I see you on this property the rest of tonight, you're all going to jail. So we're like, let's get the hell out of here. And for the rest of our time in town, even when I would come back from college under 21, I would keep my nose clean because this guy was gunning for us.
Oh, I love it, dude. He was pissed. You were right, though. You flushed him out of there.
And they were staking out. So then people got smarter about what was going on.
That was fucking great. Dude.
I remember that. Oh, and I was like,
real hell.
I thought he was gonna like hit one. Like, when you see when you're a kid and you see an adult, so you're like, he may punch one. Like he's so enraged. Like he had that look, and he's like, get the fuck. That was like the best because that wasn't part of the plan.
Right?
It made it that much sweeter because it made us so scared. And then when you hear the yogurt, you're like, "You son of, what do you have a yogurt for?" And I think he would
Activia.
You like good digestion, like Jamie Lee Curtis.
That is hilarious.
I'm gonna. Could I end on one more?
Yeah, I want to tell you real quick. So we had that same dick cop.
May have got transferred,
and he pulled a gun on my brother.
Jesus.
We were in a barn. It was a band, local bands playing this barn party, and
the young Josh Adam Myers.
Yeah, and somebody was rumored to have weed, and when they came in, someone took their pipe, and it's a barn. They just fucking threw it like literally needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
Good luck finding it.
Yeah.
And he just pulled his gun out, and he's pointing in children's faces.
What
this guy's an asshole.
Yeah. And obviously unstable.
And then one time we're in my buddy Suzuki Samurai.
Oh, it's a sweet ride.
And we're at the stoplight, and he is in the car right next to us, and we see him.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we're not going to do anything fucking stupid.
But you're also, a little on edge. Like, don't even sneeze. Don't move.
No, dude,
don't give him a reason.
Loose cannon.
Don't give him a reason.
And my buddy gets nervous, and it's a stick shift. And when the light turns green, his foot slips off the clutch a little bit, and we go, we chirp it. And here, he pulls us over.
Oh.
And he's like, what's going on? He's flashlight searching us, smelling us, the whole thing. And we're like, nothing, man. He got nervous. You fucking scared the guy.
This guy's 60. He's a new driver,
he's
man.
Brand new
give him
shit.
Yeah, give him a chance.
And there's 4 of us in the car, and he looks at us, and he goes,
make you get out?
Nope. You know what he said to us? This fucking piece of shit goes, all 4 of you will be dead before you're 25.
Jesus. That's a bold gamble. Even if you guys were into a life of crime, the chances are that wouldn't happen. 4 for 4.
It might have been younger, but it was in the 20s.
Jesus.
And then I think someone told me that because he used to drink at this bar all the time, then he would get in a car and drive home. So nobody would ever fuck with him.
Of course. And if they did, hey, we'll take him.
But I do think he got busted. I can't remember if he wrecked that car or I don't know.
A guy like that gets busted for like kiddie porners,
No, I think he got busted drinking and driving. And
were you guys loving it?
Oh, hell yeah. Because none of us ever did, you know?
Yeah. You're like, fuck you.
That guy.
And I bet you know his name, too.
I do. But
you don't say it, but I'm saying like a guy like that, you don't forget.
Nope.
You don't forget a run-in with a douche like that. And I'm sure he has relatives who became cops, are cops. So I'll end on this one. I have a trifecta of stories with me with balls going wrong.
Okay.
Not testicles, but do you want me to tell 3 or want me to tell just the main one?
Want.
So I'll start off with the first one is, so I forget how I want to say like middle school age again. I had a buddy, I was friends with this guy who lived like right down the street from me, and he had a younger sister who's in the grade below us. I ended up staying back. I held myself back in 8th grade because I was always young. I was young for my grade.
Okay.
by like a year and a half. I moved from another town, and then my town had a thing called readiness in first grade where they would hold kids back who weren't ready. So everyone was way old. I just didn't feel ready. So I was like, I'm going to stay back. I'm going to do 8th grade. It was great 'cause it was all the same work. I had like a year off in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So I went from the brother's grade to the sister's grade. And I was friends with both of them. And so when I was friends with the brother, they had like a big field behind their house, but it was just like shared backyards. I don't think you don't see that in LA at all, but
Yeah.
a lot of land. Like we would hit golf ball. Like you could drive a golf ball, and his sister was like I think she was like down like I don't know like 25, 30 yards like with a friend, and we just had like a bocce ball set out, and we weren't playing it, just fucking around with it. And I had I don't even know what the ball's called, the little yellow ball, the wooden one, the one you throw and you have to
try to get close
to it with the bocce ball. And in my mind, like the cake at Maryland, I was like, I'm just going to throw this close to her and scare her. So I throw it, and it right out of my hand. I'm like, that's too pure.
Pure.
It's too pure, dude. I got it too good. It hits her.
Where?
Square in the head.
Oh, fuck.
Hard. Drops her like a sniper.
Oh, my God.
She goes down. She's screaming hysterically. His mom rushes out of the house. It's like a cartoon instantly, like a huge egg on her head. I swear to you, she's yelling, I have a tumor. It's like
a tumor. She's
like, I have a tumor.
You put a tumor in her head.
And in my mind, I'm like, well, it's not right, but I also heard her, so I can't correct her. The mom berates us. And so I was like, shit. So fast forward years down the road, she's getting married. She invites me. I've paid her for that. We're friends. Yeah. So I'm like, what should I get her? And I'm like, I got to get her a bocce ball kit. So I go to I forget where I got it, but I got like an Eddie Bauer sells bocce ball sets apparently. So I buy it. I also got her a check because I was like, that's a stupid, that gift's a joke. I'll get her something good. So I get her the bocce ball set. I have my mom wrap it. I can't wrap for shit. And I'm bringing this thing in, and it's the type of thing where you're like, this sounded good, but like it's heavy as shit. I have to hold it through the whole ceremony. Like my biceps start hurting me. And I'm like, I don't even know if she's going to remember this. Like, this is stupid. I finally get to the reception. I put it on the gift table. I don't really think about it anymore. As I'm leaving that night, I'm walking out and I see her uncle putting gifts in a bag or like a box to collect for her. And I see him reach for mine, the bocce ball. And he thinks it's just like, all that shit's light. Yeah. And he picks it. And he almost, and like you see it take him down to like the floor, like he almost
pulled him down.
Pulled him so down.
Probably fucked his back all up.
Like a hernia. Like it looked like real, but like the way it happened.
Like a cinder box.
Yeah, it just took him down. Like looking around, like, what the?
Bocce ball sets are not fucking your thing, right? Hurt two in the family with them.
So then, and that kind of made it worth it, to be honest. Seeing that, I was like,
you're right.
Like it almost went through the floor. It took him down. Like it didn't take him to a knee.
Who got me to Anvil?
Didn't take him to a knee, but he was close. So story 2.
So good.
Story 2, I'm in high school English class with my friend who I went to Rollins with, the golfer. And did your high school, you had the superlatives in the yearbook, right? Like best this, best that.
Yes, we did.
Back when I went, it was like un-PC. They had like best looking, which I'm sure they do not.
I wonder.
Now.
That's a good point. Yeah.
My friend won best laugh. This dude who's a pro golfer, and he had like you. He had a very memorable laugh.
I didn't win that.
You didn't?
I don't even know if we had that.
Who beat you out?
I gotta go look at my book.
Who would beat you out?
I gotta go look at my book.
You were out. So we were in class. We had I forget if we had a sub or we were just watching a video. Remember like video days, and you were like, love it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Like, here we go.
And the teacher's like, who wants to bring this back to the AV room? And me and my oh yeah, like you get to go out, you can kind of mess with your buddies. You see them through the window, other classes, whatever. And so we're bringing. Why do you need 2 people to push a TV? By the way, so she sends us both, and we bring it back. No, nothing happens. We're walking back, and for whatever reason, I had a Super Ball in my pocket, like one of the ones you put.
The bounce.
Yeah, bouncy ball.
Like a small one or a bigger
small
one? A fatter one.
Small one. So I'm telling you, like just a little tiny thing, not much bigger than like a big marble probably.
Yep.
So I'm like
rainbow or whatever.
halfway down like a long straight hallway, So I take it out and I whip it off one bounce at the wall, and I want it to come back all crazy. It was a bounce, that's what you do with a bouncy ball. So I whip it. It's out of my hand. I see there was like some turnover, but there was an acting vice principal, this woman. She rounds the corner. I see the ball in it. It's coming right. And I'm like, here we go. This is too pure. It's coming right down the middle. Goes in her eye socket.
Come on, dude. One hopped in.
One hopped in the socket. And the bouncy ball is like a perfect size to go right in that socket.
100%. Yeah.
Right into the eyeball. She's carrying a coffee, like to the rim. She does like a Kramer, enter in the apartment, does the coffee goes everywhere. She's in pain.
Of course she is. That thing's it's the size of an eyeball.
Which she may have burnt herself with the coffee. I don't know. So she's in double pain. My buddy.
I'm just imagining myself turning a corner and just a ball just right in the eye. Dude.
I'm like, and I whipped it.
I don't
I'm far
care
away.
how big you are. You're so vulnerable if something takes your eye out.
And I'm like, oh my God. This lady's the vice principal.
Yeah.
My buddy cackles and just literally cackles and like runs like off out of the scene.
Yeah.
Out.
I see.
And I like, what? And so she knows it was me, like obviously if you did it, you probably wouldn't run. So I'm like just standing there and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? And she's like, what? She said, I don't know what she said. Fuck. She said, why do you have why do you have this ball in school? And I know, I don't really know. It's out of my pocket. And she says, if I ever see you with a ball in school again, you're going to take a vacation, and it won't be very much a vacation. It told me to get on my way. I don't know how.
She let you off easy.
Yeah, she could have gone. It may not have. I don't know. Maybe she had a fake eye or something.
God damn.
Hit her right in the eye. And the last one is.
I love that there's another one.
Trifecta, the hat trick. I had to go for the hat trick. This is the best one of all. So I'm like 16 years old, and to set up the story, my dad was like he's an old school kind of 80s father, was always at work, and when he wasn't at work, you left him alone. Like if he interacted with you, you interact, but if he wants to be left alone, you leave him alone.
Right.
The guy works long hours. He's working hard. He's like, he's providing. He's doing everything. He's like on weekends, he's in the tighty whities. Like he mows the lawn, but
my dad.
He's sleeping. He's watching sports. He's watching old school movies, some karate movies, some whatever. You leave him alone, like it's his time. Don't be too loud, like my mom would be like, kids, don't be too loud. You wake him up. You don't want whatever. So my room was right next to my parents, and I look in, I see my dad watching TV in his room on his bed. He's wearing his tighties. And I'm like, so whatever reason, light bulb goes off. I'm like, I got the perfect idea. I grab, for whatever reason, I liked having a racquetball. I was like a young Rocky Balboa.
Mm-hmm.
So I grab the racquetball. I go in my dad's room. I stand like on the side of the TV.
Does he see you?
He sees me, but he doesn't. He's just watching TV.
Right.
He thinks I'm doing something else
right,
in there.
Yeah.
And I lofted up, just like a nice soft touch pass.
Yeah. Just lob for that alley-oop.
Just lobbing it up to DeAndre Jordan. And my plan was I'm gonna lob it at his balls and
but near him enough to scare him.
No, I wanted to hit it, but
you did.
Not pure it though.
Right.
Like so it hits him square in the.
Did
sack.
you know when you let it go? It was too good. One?
No, it was just a lot. It was like a feather leaving my. It felt just nice. Felt good. Like this is good. This is going to be great. I guess in my head I thought he would think it was funny. I don't know why anyone would like that. And so it hits him like, one of those nut shots that you could get hit by like anything, a piece of sand, and it could drop you.
That's it. I mean, if you know it's coming, you can fucking deal with it. If you don't know that shit's coming, a whisper will fucking put you on your knees.
So this was like a Bob Ross whisper.
Oh man,
nails him. And my dad, he spanked me a little bit, but never really put hands on me. He goes like he's gonna hit me.
He got up right away.
He went up on his side and he went to swing at me, and I put my hands like, whoa! But before he could punch me in the face, the pain turned him over on his stomach. And he's just laying on his stomach, down for the count.
Poor son of a bitch.
And in my mind, I'm like, what do I do? Do I leave? He's obvious. Like, you just tried to punch me in the face. I'm like, so
don't get too close.
Yeah, so in my mind, like, don't get close,
That's
don't
right.
touch
This
him.
is an injured cobra.
He could be could be faking
That's
it too.
right, he could be
luring me in, playing possum. So I'm like, don't put a hand on, like, you okay? So I'm like, I'm still like 5 feet away. I'm like, are you okay? And he's not talking. And like, I'd say like 3 to 5 minutes pass of just silence of me just,
and you're still standing there,
saying nothing. You don't know what, you're like,
sorry, Dad.
Yeah, you sorry, but no one's saying anything. So
right,
it's not, you're like, finally, like, comes to, still in pain, like, still can barely get it together. And he's just like, why would you do that?
Everybody wants to know why.
And I think, like, looking back, I think your thinking is like, if I find out that at least I'm targeted, I can. It's like terrorism. Like, if I find out I'm the target, I can deal with that. I can be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
But a random attack is scarier.
Hell yeah.
Because it can come at any point.
Any point.
And I gave the answer that every parent hates. I don't know. And he's like, what do you mean you don't know? And I was like, I honestly don't know. I just thought I saw you there. I thought it'd be funny.
Thought I'd just hit you in the ball bag.
And he gives me like a 5-minute speech about how a man's testicles and penis are it's not something to mess with. And
he's like, you'll see in college.
You could sterilize a person. You tell me you could sterilize a man with a shot.
With a good shot to the ball bag.
And so I just basically had to sit there, and that's become like family lore in my family. And it's basically been like when you have kids, like
your daughter one day is gonna lob that
you're
ball.
Gonna get racquetball.
You are. You're gonna see it coming too.
I got a racquetball in my living room, and it's got my ball's name on it. Dad, if you're listening, which I hope you're not, I'm sorry. I hope your ball bag's still working. I think it is, but I apologize. I learned from that. And I don't take a man's balls for granted from here on.
Dude, God, my face fucking hurts.
Oh man, so yeah, I avoid balls, and I'm like Gaylord Fokker, the guy who spikes it in his face and meet the parents.
Oh my God,
yeah, bad luck with balls.
Well,
in the state of Maryland,
yeah.
Kofi, if you're listening, fuck you.
Fuck you, Kofi.
You reach out on Twitter, I'll tell you to go fuck yourself.
I'd love to see that guy reach out. Somebody's going to find him for you.
I bet. They're like, oh, Kofi with the Ewings? I went to school with him in Baltimore.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. This was fun.
This was fun. Seriously, you're great. I love it.
Thank you, dude.
Will you please promote social media, your podcast, whatever you want?
Social media, at Danish and O'Neill. That's the two of us, and for our show, Danish and O'Neill on iTunes and SoundCloud. If you want me personally, at the Jeff Danis. I don't use it that often, but if you want to say anything to me personally, you found Roderick or you found Kofi, you hate University of Maryland, whatever you want to talk about.
Terps?
Yeah, go Terps. Fuck Duke. And yeah, check us out. Beach Cops on Patreon, and that's about it. Come to the Comedy Store. I perform there about once a week.
Yeah, go to the Comedy Store. Go see Jeff. Listen to Danish and O'Neill. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, dude. It's been fun.
It was great, man. I am Ryan Sickler on all social media, ryansickler.com. We'll talk to you all next Wednesday.